All right. Let's get set up. Cool. So, no camera today. It's going to be a nice lazy day because I'm feeling a little burnt out on streaming game dev. I'm going to be doing game playing for a while, but I don't want to stop programming games. I just want to do like some small little things that aren't really worth showing on stream, but I'll show what I got. And when I make progress in the future, I'll show that as well. I would like to make an RTS prototype. Not a game. Not something that I want to like publish / show off. But a prototype. Because RTSs are kind of in a weird space. They're kind of a game genre that's cursed. There's not really a lot of hope, or I don't know how to describe the problem. It's not a growing genre, and I think that's partly due to a lack of experimentation, and in the absence of other people doing experimentation, I'm going to do experimentation. But in order to do that, I need an RTS prototype to experiment with. And that's what I'm making. I've done a little bit already. This is about a day and a half worth of work. When I say day and a half, I mean like 4.5 hours of what I've got so far. It's not much. I've got a map scene, got a unit scene here, which is just a little guy, health component stolen from other game jam game, navigation agent, which is it's just raw. The sprites are from Kenny, the free Kenny sprites. It's just a placeholder, you know. Good for prototyping, which is what this is. Collision shape, which is a circle, as you can see. And then there's another one for clicking. The map here, I've got 2 units on the map. And this scrollable cam, which is what I've spent most of my time on, which is down here. Isn't it? Yeah, here it is. Scrollable cam is this placeholder HUD, and there's a little bit of logic in here to control the camera. So basically, all it does is if the mouse is at the edge of the screen, we scroll up, we scroll down, we scroll left, we scroll right, and we don't scroll off the map. Simple. That's all we need. And then I'm trialing out separating the input handler and the thing that actually controls what the buttons do. So this thing, first of all, is a scene. It's not a auto load global anymore. It's just a scene. You attach it to a thing and it will listen. And all it does is when you click a button, it emits a signal that says this button was clicked. It is then the responsibility of a different handler to listen to that signal and do whatever. It's my hopes that this results in less clunky input handling than how I've been doing in the past game jams, because, well, for the Minecraft one, the input handler was the biggest function, and it was the hairiest, and it had some leftover functionality from where I stole it from that there's some spaghetti code in there. I'd like to avoid that. And then, yeah, that's about all I've got so far. Oh, the other thing that I've been thinking about was I've been using this point cast algorithm that I've always been taking from AI, from the first search result you get on Google. And I've never actually looked into, is this the correct way to do a point cast? And is there a better way? And I'm not going to do that on stream today, but I'm going to do that in the near future and look into, is there a better way for me to see what I'm clicking on? Whoa, Is that how that works? No, that's a bug. Whatever. Um, whatever. I know that controls all have a signal that will detect, is the mouse here or is the mouse not here? And doing that instead of using point casts may be better, maybe not. All the other code that I have here has been copy pasted from past game jams. And what I'd like to do today, aside from like just thinking and meditating on what an RTS is and what it isn't, I want to add 2 more units to this thing. I want to put them over here. I want to make them enemy units. And I would like for these units and those units to attack each other when they get within range. And I put that in quotes. In range is a thing I need to implement as well. That's it. If I do that, it's a successful stream. And on next time we'll be playing some games. If I don't get that done, oh, well, I'm sad. There is one other thing that I tried implementing, Fog of War, which I always thought was kind of an imperative in an RTS. You've got to have Fog of War in your RTS, because otherwise, like, what, the whole map starts revealed? And it's not really much strategy. It's just send your dudes to the enemy base. But my implementation sucked. It's the same implementation that I did for Martian Crawl, which is for every tile, add another tile that's just responsible for saying how shaded this is, like unrevealed, revealed, visible. And then just every unit is constantly checking every time they move, just going through that field and updating all the values. And it works in Martian Crawl, but it's a performance bottleneck. It's something that you can kind of notice if you're looking out for it. And if I double the size of the maps in there, you can absolutely notice the bottleneck. Hello? Hey, Bone Circuit. Welcome. I did the same thing here. And when I tried it out, same performance bottleneck. And I was looking into, like, how do other RTSs implement their FOV? Nope, not FOV. FOW, Fog of War. I still need to do more research. One thing that came up was offload all of that behavior onto the GPU. This is something that's come up multiple times I've seen in my Google searches, which is instead of creating a bit array, put all of this into like an image or a graphics object or a texture. I'm not entirely sure. And then this thing just paints in the image, or every unit is constantly painting in the image, and they're painting out the fog. And if you put that all on the GPU, it's actually pretty fast, because the GPU can handle like 400 units all drawing at the same time in parallel, theoretically. I don't know. I don't hate that solution, but it feels a little heavy. And I was wondering, and I was thinking, is Fog of War actually necessary in an RTS? Maybe there's a more intelligent way to do this that's performant and doesn't require a GPU to handle base mechanics of. I don't know. I erased what I did because it was broken, or it wasn't broken. It wasn't broken. It was just, the performance was really bad, and I'm not coming back to it. You cook the user's mobile phone, then a 10-minute play before they battery drain. The poor phone users. They don't get RTSs. Like old school RTSs, the ones that predate graphics drivers or graphics cards, have Fog of War. They found a way to not need to offload anything to the GPU to make stuff happen. But I think, like, if I go back and play like the original Age of Empires and I look very closely at the fog, like I won't remember it now, but if I go and look closely at the fog, it'll probably be janky AF. And that's because they did some tricks to optimize slash. It's the kind of thing that you don't really notice if you're not looking for it. So why fret about it? In this area, you want non-intensive processes, bitwise operate on CPU. Well, not the way I did it, so. Anyway, in order for these guys to be able to say friend and enemy, I need to give them an allegiance variable. It's batteries. Yep. I do hate batteries. They don't belong to computers. Sorry, it's here, isn't it? Yeah. The unit has a script, and the script has a bunch of variables in it. And I guess before I continue, one thing that really tickled me was like in an RTS, when you click on something, there's like a little circle or a little indicator that pops around that unit to indicate that you've clicked on them. Good design. Smart. Where does that circle actually come from? And I've always thought it's like when you click on a unit, the game would keep track of like a pool of selectors, or maybe it's just spawning the selector like at live. Like you click on the unit and the game will create a little graphic, put it around the unit and say, you did it. It didn't occur to me until like now that actually what's probably happening, and I don't know if this is true, but this is how I have it implemented and how I've seen how to do it on the internet. Every unit actually has the selector attached to them already. It's just invisible. So when you click on them, you're just making the selector visible. And I don't know, that's just funny to me. I could go through a game, hack it to make the selectors visible, and then just every unit constantly looks selected. My brain's broken. Lost years to the genre. It's kind of a interesting, like, to think about why RTSs aren't. They've just been kind of flat for a long time. And my biggest theory is that, well, MOBAs kind of ate their lunch, and RTS developers haven't figured out how to make up for that, how to reach out to a new audience. But var allegiance. This should be an export. And this should be an int. And then maybe we should have an enum allegiance value. Me enemy. What? Expected after enum name. How do I do enums again? Oh, no. I don't want to click that. Hold on. Oh, I didn't set up properly. Let me just get my Minecraft code. Oh, it's because I have the equals. Okay. That's crazy. And then this actually can just be an allegiance value. Okay, and then because we've done this way, we should be able to Yeah, it's just a drop down. Cool. So for now, we've got our 2 units. There we go. That took way too long. Copy. Oh wait, now I can just drag them in. No, I should copy. Duplicate, duplicate. Okay, and then we just set their allegiance to enemy. We'll have to change their color in the future. We're gonna have no setup for that whatsoever right now, and that's just how it is. The other monster that eats battery and destroys plays anything to do with the mems. The polling time is usually too high and the battery is a bad day. New devs are attracted to it. Interesting. That makes sense. Makes sense that the gyro would do that. It also makes sense that the developers would be drawn to that because the gyroscope is one of those things that most games don't have access to. If you give a game developer access to a new thing, I mean, you gotta play with it. Why not? I think I want to make it so that I cannot click on enemies. Obviously, that should be. Go to the input command handler. All right, and we left click. If unit and unit dot unit allegiance. Can I cast this as like unit? Did I name this? Nope. I like naming things because it makes the editor a little bit easier to work with. Unit dot allegiance value dot self. So now we can only click on our shoot. I'm clicking on the area 2D. Right. I ran into this problem. So originally I did not have the area 2D around the units. This big circle here is the area 2D, and then this small circle is the actual collision. One shiny thing syndrome at work, and we hire another freelancer for the next game. New blood, new problems. I wrote the code originally to handle this small collider, but clicking on it is actually a real pain. So the only way that I could see to make clicking on this more forgiving, other than doing some cheeky click near a collider and then search all colliders, and then click on the nearest one with a shape cast. The quote unquote easier solution is to just have this area 2D whose whole purpose is to be clicked on, and well, that's what I did. I think that this will absorb inputs so that I cannot click on this anymore. The problem is if I click on this, I'm not clicking on this. I have to discern what I'm clicking on here. And I can't cast this. But I need to make a function that's like parse what this is. If this is an area 2D, get its parent. And if it's a character body 2D, then we're good. The best way to do that is actually print unit. Or just experiment for a little while. Oh, yeah, all right. scratch that. Okay, what am I clicking on? That's the mouse selection collider. I'm not clicking on anything anymore. I should be clicking on it. Why is it not counting? I'm so confused. There's no error. There's no debug. There's nothing. The heck? Do a point cast and then print the unit. No. No. Okay, yeah. Okay, click. First click is good. Click again, nothing. That's weird. Oh, is this absorbing the input? This should not be doing anything. This is just a texture rect. Why is it catching the mouse input? Frickin'. There we go. Yeah, that was the problem. Okay. A little debugging window with some stats will be prudent. Later use in the game for other things. I'm not ready yet for that. I just need to make sure that I'm always guaranteed to be clicking on this, because if I do, then I can write the code to be like, get this. So am I always clicking on an area 2D? Always, yes. That's fine. That's it. I put this in a layer 24, and I think I actually have the cast only looking in layer 24. Yes. Okay, so we should be good to just assume that get parent. It should be safe to just assume that this is always going to be the unit. Now, why did that not work? Oh, because I'm already doing it. Okay, yeah. It's fair. It gets messy when you use manual encoded layers. Stick to one, code preferred. Non-existent function. Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah. If. Okay. All right, we can click on them, but we can't select them. Okay. Right. So I need these guys to have an attack component. Basically, I need them to every unit think, do a search around them for enemy units, and if you see one, attack it. And attacking it is basically just reduces health by X until it goes to 0. I don't think I ever implemented anything that happens when your health hits 0. So we don't need to do that yet. Did you investigate Gaussian splats? I looked at them. They're neat. Not much to say. Right, I need a new component. Can I lift a component from another game? Probably not. I don't think... wait. Don't I have a component in my dungeon crawler? Oh, why are you up there? Combat component. How does this work? So we got a cooldown, we got an attack range, and then it's in incomplete format at the moment. I had another stab at physics combustion, so that's what brain's too smooth at the moment. What are you working on? So we set, okay, hold on, I need to sneeze. And the sneeze is not coming. Oh no. 1 second. Seven degrees with physics. The man who does special effects for the big wigs in the city. I do the hard stuff, he takes the credit. Huh. Okay. Control, mouse filter, ignore. Okay, so check attack cooldown. This is something that I have in a physics process. But not this physics process. So that means I had a combat loop somewhere that was just iterating and going, check everyone. Probably don't need to do that. I could probably just have the combat component here be a physics process and it's all good. Like, create new scene. Combat component. This is going to be a timer. It doesn't need to be in a physics process, but a physics process is fine. We need to have the combat stats sent to us. Right? I think I want to have the combat. I want to have all the stats here in resource files. It's easier to read that way, but that means I need to get the resource to the component. Is there any way to do that that's automatic? Probably is a way. If I were to take a unit and then I were to attach the combat component to it, it would automatically get the unit data. I mean, what I could do is I could just get parent, get unit data, but I think that calling get parent is actually not healthy. I can do it. It's okay to do it in this particular case. But if there's a way to not do it, I would rather not do it. It could be the kind of thing where, like, on ready. Yeah, I'm doing that here already. Yeah, I'm doing that here already. So I'll just assume that my parent will set me up. And I don't need to worry about that. So we'll attach a script, combat component. Okay, so we'll need like an attack range. Let me just get the stats that I have in my dungeon crawler. Attack cooldown. Attack range. Attack range might be an int. This says I should also have my attack target. That makes sense. I know there's a wide variety of behaviors that RTSs do to where, like, if I'm attacking a target, I will continue attacking that target until they die or until they move like 1.5 times out of my range. And then there's other RTSs where, like, I'm going to attack the nearest target, and if another unit gets closer, I'll switch targets out. And I don't know what is best. And this is a prototype, so we can just do whatever and we'll figure it out. Let's not have an attack target for now. We're going to just attack the closest target at all times. So in order to do that, we assume that these variables have been populated by our parent. Let's do that. Go to the unit. I wish there was a way to throw a warning if these are not initialized. After each project, cherry pick all the good stuff into something called a template project. As you build out games, eventually it's a solutions box for the next one to bootstrap the next game. Yeah, that's the goal. Got our unit here. Go ahead and add this in here. Combat component. Dot. This is not going to help me until I name this. Print rich. Use print rich. Print rich what? I don't have any prints in here. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Important errors. Well, but how do I throw that error? that's the thing I want to know is how do I alert when I haven't initialized a variable? I would prefer that happens in the editor, not something that happens in game. Oh my, come on. Really? Because you're going to play that game? Print it first, then decide? Print what? Attack cooldown and attack range. I don't think I need this to be named. But there's no reason not to, so. All right. So now I need to go over here and export those. Okay. Then push error once you have the print rich working. I feel like this is some cart before the horse stuff. First I need to write the bug, and then I'll use print to catch it. Attack cooldown 1.0. Attack range. Oh, I should include the damage. How do I not have damage in my dungeon crawler? Really? There's no damage here? Oh, it's there. It's just commented out. All right, that's fine. And then I actually don't know what this number is, what the units are. So 6, I guess. And this could just be 6 pixels. And then we have the saddest attack range in the world. And then attack damage, I don't know, let's go with 9. That will give you a linked stack trace. stacking. I don't need this variable anymore. We're beyond the point of having that stuff here. We've got that in the unit data. Push error address to the console. I am not an error. I am intended behavior. Let's go. Combat component dot attack damage equals unit data dot attack damage. We are going to go back here, and I don't need this ready yet. I don't need this process. I guess I do need the physics process. Okay. So what we're doing is we are I've got every, okay, so this is gonna call it every frame, and I should every attack cooldown check. Are there any units in range? Okay, let me go back to this. How have I been checking what's in range? Okay, so something has been setting the attack target here. And it's nothing in this function. So something else has been responsible for setting the attack target. Maybe it's the think component? Maybe I put that in the mob script. Oh, well, all right, this is cheating. Okay, so for every unit, if the position to the distance to them is 400, do the thing, else don't do the thing. All right, well, we can't do that here. Alas. Do we do a shape cast? I don't want to do a shape cast for every unit, every frame. That sounds extreme. But that might be that might be how we have to do it. So every unit, every frame does a shape cast and goes, is there a unit in range? And if so, hit them. I don't want to do that. Could I instead, this might be dumb, but this is the wrong game. Could I instead put another area 2D in here? Can I just stack this thing with area 2Ds and make its size equal to whatever the attack range in? And then we have a function in here for sure. Get overlapping bodies. So we just look for all overlapping bodies. We iterate through them. And what we do there? Can we do that? And I guess we can put that on the combat component. It doesn't have to be on the player. So that means we need to make this a node 2D, which is fine. Need to add a. Could we make this the area 2D? I think we could. And we need to give it a shape. And that's just going to be a circle. It's the most optimal shape when it comes to collision checking. Not monitorable, but it is monitoring, and we want to put it on. We're not on layer 1, but we want to listen on layer 1 because did I really not label that? That's a dunk on me. I labeled this, right? Oh, I didn't. Mouse click layer. This is the unit layer. Is the layer? It's the unit. It's the layer where units go. That can't be right. Wait a minute. What layer do I have the terrain on? Tile set. Select. I don't know. Pick one. Doesn't matter. They're all the same. That's not true. They're not all the same. But some of them have physics set up. Paint? What the heck? Oh, they don't have physics set up. I never set up physics. The way that I implemented this, no, that's not true. That can't be true, because how are these navigation arrays navigating? We can only navigate on the ground. What are you trying to solve? How do I check to make sure each unit is not in range? If a unit is in range of an enemy, how do I get it to detect that? But so these guys down here are, they don't have physics set up, but they do have a navigation set up, and the navigation layer is different from a physics layer. So I don't need to worry about that. That's fine. We don't have to worry about clicking on a navigation layer. A radial distance would cover it. Is that a shape cast? Because I don't want to do that 60 frames every unit. I don't actually plan on there being more than like 200 units at a time on a map, but I want to plan for having like 10,000 units on a map. And I don't want to have to do 10,000 shape casts every frame, if possible. Radial and math on a tick. Radial and math. What is a radial? So the big issue you will discover here is one solution won't be enough. So I need multiple solutions. What we can do is when attack range gets set, we can go to our collision shape and we can update it. So we don't really need to do anything. Set X attack range. Something like that. You'll find it less computational to have simpler checks than harder checks later. A radial distance gives you the group to check through. The next check is to determine if they're in front or back. The third check does the actual work. Okay. What is a radial distance? Circular distance check around the player. So every unit is just constantly checking around itself then? Like with a shape cast? If I have this set up correctly, it should be able to detect collisions. So if I physics process, print if collision shape 2D or print rich, if collision shape 2D, or no, if combat component. No, we are the combat component. If we detect has overlapping bodies. Oh, and we should exclude ourselves from this. We'll worry about that later. All right, if I press play, we should see stuff appear. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I should exclude ourselves from vector 3 distance squared 2 and vector 3 distance 2. Distance to what? The first one is checked, then if anything within the first one, set up linear distances. That's a check if anything is within the first one. Like the only way to do that is either shapecast or go through the entire list of units and individually check each one to see, are you in range? Are you in range? Are you in range? Are you in range? And if I do that, and I have 10,000 units, then that is like 10 million checks every frame. I can't do that. No. When I'm setting this, how would I get to make sure that I'm excluding myself? That should be done here, but combat component. RTS sounds fun. We'll see. We will see. The agent doesn't have a 10,000 foot radial check. If they did, then yes, your concept is true. It only checks within a range of the center to the player. What? Well, but how would you know if something is in or outside of the radius? You have to check all units. Like, I understand the idea of like, do a shape cast, make it the radius around the around the unit. And then anything that's in there, I can, well, if it's in there, I already got it. I don't understand the idea of do a radial check, but it's not a shape cast. Because how would you know if that radial check got everything without checking everything? Let's see what you do before proceeding with this line of thinking. Okay. I need to add an exception. Why am I doing this way? There's got to be a way. There's got to be a function to be like exclude. Why am... Do I need monitoring to be true if I'm just using this? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I might not need that if I'm just doing has overlapping bodies. Isn't this just the exact same as doing a shape cast? I thought that this would be more sophisticated. Like, because this would track what's coming in and out. And, hmm. No, maybe that's just exactly the same amount of complexity as a shape cast. Can I just make this a shape cast? If that's the case, I don't need this anymore. Get that out of here. I've never worked with this before, but let's do it live. We're gonna do a circle. Exclude parent. Yeah, that's exactly the thing that I needed. Target position. No. If true, collisions will be reported. But it's a shape cast. What is it? What? I don't particularly understand why I would, what that does. Oops. No, that doesn't, that's not what I want. Each collision check has a cost and computation. You want the fast one at the top to get the close group. The next one is more computational but more accurate. Finally, may want a very accurate one. That's even more shape casts. But the first shape cast is good enough. The first shape cast gets them all. So I don't need to do that. Detect collision objects by sweeping its shape along the cast direction. No, I want, what is this? Collisions will be reported. What? I don't know. Let's just, what happens if I do this? Shapecast 2D. So how do I do this? Collide with bodies. Collision result. Is this a function? I thought that was a property. It is a property. What the? Get collision count. Is colliding. Okay. back later. 25 doggo branch manager demands a walk routine. You must satisfy that doggo. Enjoy. Oh, right. I can't just not. And this is incorrect because we're not messing with the. No, this is correct. Oh, it's not a collision shape anymore. Yes. Okay. I don't know why I do this to myself. Only print if your name is Unit 1. And then, okay, there we go. I think this is Unit 1. Let me just double check. This is brilliant. Brilliant work on my part. Yeah, that the top left one is Unit 1. Okay, I think part of the problem is the range is like 6, and 6 is an embarrassingly small range. Yeah, like that's 10 pixels. And this is, it's smaller than the unit, and I need that to be a lot larger than the unit. So we need to go into the, here, 75.0. Still not colliding, huh? Well, we should be in range now, so there's definitely something wrong. We can maybe get a little peek. Why is this not a shape cast? Why is this a node? Oh no, it is a shape cast. It's just a cursed icon. Got it. Its radius is 10. That's not correct. Are we not allowed to edit the range of this resource? Or is it because it's not enabled? That's the thing I was testing. No, that wasn't it. Oh no, it is. Okay, yeah, it's just because the thing was not enabled. All right, brilliant. I don't know why I would disable that. Then it's like shapecast. Do you want your shapecast to do anything when you use your shapecast? No, actually I don't. I want to call shapecast, but it does nothing. That appears to be the purpose of that function. I don't know. What's this custom solver bias? Okay, I'm confused. I'm going to assume that's because this is a multi-purpose shape object that is meant for collisions and stuff. This is a shape cast. It should not be colliding with anything. It doesn't have. It's just a shape cast. Like it's. I don't. Okay, calm down. Just keep coding. So I'm assuming that I need to make these ranges stupidly huge, and that's annoying. But that's a problem for future me to worry about. It actually would be nice if I could just draw the radius. Max results. Oh, I can reduce that. Yeah. Oh no. Wait a minute. No, that's actually a problem. Because if I'm surrounded by friendly units, I still want to be able to target enemy units. But I wonder if there's a way to say exclude all friendly units. Because you can exclude the parent. So why can't you just keep excluding? I know shapecasts can do something like that. Documentation. Can we just set exception, add exception, and then we'll just make this list. We'll just fill all of our units into this list and then get super performant. No, I don't know. I don't think that's how that works. I don't know how I would test that, but I want to test that. And this is a prototype. So the whole purpose of this is to test that. So I do want to do that. Oh, how valuable is it to reduce this number? If we reduce this to 1, probably very valuable. Okay, well, for now, just move on. That's a hairball. This whole shape. I actually, one of the add-ons that I picked up to experiment with is a to-do manager, and I'm going to set myself a to-do, figure out shape cast optimization set is friendly units as excluding friendly unit better for performance? How much does a tiny margin? What was it called? Max result. Okay. Anyway, we've confirmed that we are colliding with a unit. It's actually not imperative that we do this every frame. We can do this every attack cooldown. So I need another variable. Attack. Oh, what's the name? What's a good name for this variable? It's like it's the attack cooldown, but this is a static number, and then this is going to contain the actual like how long until my next attack. Time to next attack. Equals 0.0. Okay. Nope. I hope future me understands what I meant here. Time to next attack plus equals delta. If time to attack is less than the attack cooldown, then return. Okay. So every second we're checking. That doesn't feel right. That feels wrong. I feel like we should be checking every frame, but then only attacking every second. But I don't know. We can just skip all this. You know what? I will add a texture rect. And the texture rect's job, we're going to center it. And then we're going to give it a gradient 2D, and then we're going to make that a radial. And fill radial. And then shoot. Backwards. I got it backwards. 0.5, and then we're going to make this transparent. Now, why didn't that work? Why is there some gray going on? What? Do I not understand how... I don't know. But we'll set the radius equal to... Oh. Is there a better way to just draw a circle? I just want to draw a circle here and have it represent the shape cast that's happening. No, whatever. What's the radius I have set on this? I'll just manually type it in for now. 75, so 150 by 150. Okay, that should accurately represent the radius. Oh, that's actually way smaller than I thought it would be. Oh, did I comment out the... Let's actually witness that. Units colliding, true. True, true. False. Cool. Okay. So I'm the shape cast, and I need to get a collision. How do I do that? Get closest collision. Safe fraction. What the heck? Get collider shape, get collision count, get collision normal, get collision point, get collider. Let's just do a get collider. Let me just double check. Shape casting is more computationally expensive than ray casting. Understood. We'll call get collider. We'll get a collider. I think I need to pass in a 0. Print rich. Is there a way to get all collisions? I thought that I would be like able to get an array. Collision result. I'm going to assume that I really want to just look at collision result. Okay. Iterate through the list. Oh, we're going to have to iterate through the list, huh? Yeah. And then check the allegiance of everything we're colliding with. Yeah. This is going to get expensive really fast. Oh, we need to know our allegiance. There's no way to do what I'm trying to do, is there? Could not find allegiance. Oh, it's because it's that. Great. I should not make enums capitalized like that. That's not healthy. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay, that feels all right. Okay. We need our allegiance value to be properly set up by the unit. So we'll do that. Combat component dot allegiance equals allegiance. Okay. For collider in collision result, if collider dot allegiance is not equal to our allegiance, print rich attack. Yeah, okay, that's what I was expecting. All right, we can't click on these dudes down here. Yes. Okay, no one's attacking. What? Oh, shoot. Okay. Print rich collider. Comment those out. What are we looking at? Are you kidding me? Yep, we got to do that. Nothing. All right, we're quiet. We're quiet. But if we go over here, attack, attack. All right. So I need to deal damage to the target, and the target needs to deal damage to me too. But in order to deal damage to the target, I need to access its health component. And do I have that in the unit already? We're good. We do, yes. I could just make a function like deal damage to unit, and then let that be handled from here. That seems fine. Func deal damage. Int Okay. Bum, ba, bum. We should see health bars start to go down. All of that should be hooked up. If it's not hooked up, then oops. What? That's not right. What? That was instant death. That cannot be... This guy still has full health. Oh, it's because it's the wrong unit. Huh. Thought I had these hooked up correctly. Instantly wrong. 27 out of 45. But for some reason, our value is 0.0. To the health component. What are we doing here? Health divided by max health. Health is an int and max health is an int, and therefore we are immediately throwing away any fractions. Okay. How do I divide two ints, but keep the fraction? If I turn max health into a float, that should fix it. Which is not what I prefer to do, but... Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. So... let's make their ranges a bit more robust. I forget what I had planned on doing. It was get them attacking. Shoot. This is kind of a question of optimization rather than a question of, can I get this done? Because like if I wanted to do this, I would have done it in 5 minutes, and then I would drop my frame rate to 15 frames per second, which is what happened when I implemented my fog of war. And try not to repeat that. Let's try increasing the range. Let me... Shoot. Bad time to space out. There we go. 500. Okay. Okay, I need to add a better radius highlighter. I could set to-dos. To-do replace texture rect with a circle that better highlights range. To-do have an attack effect animation. That's about it. And then this is kind of implemented, but I need to look into that. Look into optimization. Yeah. Okay. And just out of curiosity, make sure this works. If I send both of these guys together, can they defeat both? I also need to implement box selection. That feels like a core part. Oh, right. There's no defeat. I should implement defeating. I think that was one of the things that I wanted to do. So I have an on death signal. The unit needs to receive that signal. And then it needs to die. Okay, so okay. Is that gonna? No, it should be fine. Everything should be fine. Running queue free on a unit should not cause the whole game to crash. It should not cause all units to be deleted. It should just work out of the box. Don't worry about it. Okay. How did I lose this? I'm bad at RTSs. Oh wait, no, that was a successful test. What am I doing? I don't need to fail again. Shoot. I can't remember what else I was gonna do. Thinking about this. No, I got nothing. I could implement an effects helper. There's definitely, I could grab the laser effect from my first game and slap it in. Why do I have... Oh, I have 3 Godot's running right now. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the effect from my very first game. From Martian Crawl, I'm going to slap it in here. Every time an attack happens, we're going to draw an effect from the source. This is not a combat component. From the source to the collider, and then... Yeah, we're done. Done. Good stream. All right, let me put this over here. This is the code for Martian Crawl. I was thinking about one of the things, instead of doing an RTS, was just rewriting this, making it multiplayer and adding in the content that I had to cut because I didn't have enough time. And I ultimately was like, that's basically just me reinventing the dungeon crawl that I'm doing, but from scratch, which I'm not opposed to, but I don't know. RTS first, then maybe redoing Martian Crawl. Oh, hold on, excuse me. Um, one second. Okay. A shader? Was it a shader? No. Was it an item? Shoot, this code is so jank. Was it a decor? There's a reason I would rather rewrite this than extend it. Utility? Anim Sprite Giver. Oh yeah, I named things well. Give basic animated sprite. This feels like code that I copy pasted. Oh. Hitting myself in the face with spaghetti. Effect? No. This was before I had components, because otherwise I would look in the combat component. Combat handler, though, it feels like it's probably in here somewhere. Update weapon frame. Attack. Huh. So much code. Set sprite frame? Get label handler, get movement handler. If I was a beam effect, where would I be? What is this cursor handler? What? Oh, I had a handler for that? What is wrong with me? Sound handler, tween handler, beam tween. This is it. Oh, I put it in a handler because I was having a bug. That's right, I remember now. Because there was a bug where if you finished a level while you were tagging something, it would clear out the beam, and then the tween wouldn't be done, so it would crash the game. And so I wrote this handler just to solve that one bug. Okay. I need to get beam tween, basically. Maybe it's better to just not use this and just write straight off the noggin. Func. To target position. And then we will just create a texture rect, I believe, or a color rect, actually. Did I use color rect in here, or did I use a texture rect? I think I used a texture rect because I had a little piece of art. That was, yeah, the beam, the pistol beam. So I definitely had a texture rect. Where am I using this? Okay, so beam texture. Get beam effect. Oh my, come on. Who uses this function? Who uses it? Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, draw line attack. It's in the level? I put it in the level? Oh my god. I'm glad the camera is off right now, because you can't see me face palming. Of course, I put the thing that animates the attacks in the level. Beam. Draw line attack. This is the function I want. Line 2D. Perfect. That's actually what I want. Tell me about this. Oh, we can give it a gradient? Excellent. Can I just give it a color? Do I have to give it anything? I can give it a default color. Perfect. Okay, yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna create a line 2D. Var line equals line 2D dot new, and we gotta cast this because that makes the Godot editor happier or nicer to me. We set the position of the line 2D, both points, the start and the end point. What? We can have more than 2 points? Huh. Does this thing default to it? Okay, hold on. How was I using it in here? Add point start, add point start. Okay, so we added, okay. I'm sure there's a reason I did that. Position. We're a shapecast. We have a position. Okay, and then we're also going to set line dot default color equals color dot red. And then, what did we create a tween here? Oh, we got to set the width. Yeah. And it's not lost to me that I'm doing this in the combat component. That's to do, put this in an effects helper so that I'm not repeating the mistakes of the past and putting graphical logic in random places in my code. Let's just 4. Sure, 4. That's fine. That's a number. You can't say that's not a number. This isn't a float. It is a float. All right. Then when we make the tween, tweens are messy magic. Well, I think I can just copy this, right? No, I think I can recreate it. Our tween equals create tween dot tween property. Oh no. How do I get the point? What is this method? Interpolate and end. Resident Waldo, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? How's it going? What were you up to? We're just looking at past code and regretting writing it. Oh. I thought that this is like the perfect thing. A line 2D. That's all we need. It's just a line 2D. We're just drawing a line from a point to a point. I guess actually I don't need to animate this, do I? No, I should just go all in. Use old Blender Halo combo. Oh, making stuff in Blender. Got it. Yeah, that's cool. Fun. I think I can just like try this and see what happens. What is start? What? Oh. Oh. We don't need that. Okay, so what happens? What? Why is it? Why is it complaining? Oh. I don't know why I have 2 points here. I don't know why I did this. I'm becoming more and more alarmed that I wrote this code once upon a time, and I'm trusting that it's there for a reason, but I'm losing faith. All right, what happens if okay, I need to actually call this function. Draw beam target, nope, collider dot position. That should do. We should start to see beams happen. No beams. All right. Is it because I didn't add this as a child? That's probably what it is. And then I should await the tween. Complete. What is the... Okay. What is the signal that I need to wait for? Finished. All right, let's see some beams. Oh, okay, sure. That's way too fast, but... Interpolate. Oh, and this is... Okay, so interpolate is... that. Why is it so fast? What if I don't queue free? What if I just let the beams exist forever? Useless. Okay, I'm glad I had that queue free. Oh, it's because this is happening in a fraction of a second. How did this work in Martian Crawl? I'm so confused. Okay, it is working. It is working. We need to finish the tween. There's part 2 to this tween. This part. What is impact sprite? I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, I put it in a callback. That's smart. I should have done that. Past me did one thing right. Oops. Okay, we don't need this. Nope. Position. Okay, and then this is target position. Okay, and then we should see the beams come out of one unit and go into the other. Of course, it's impossible to see that when they're both shooting at each other. Where are they going? What? Huh? Maybe I meant not position of this. but global position. Stop it. Maybe that's what I meant. Where's the beams? How does that ruin it? Actually, this is correct. It's this that's not correct. Let me see that. Why isn't that correct? What? Okay, let me go back to this. I'm calling tween method. What was I doing in the past? Tween method, func end to end. Set trans, translinear, set ease. Then I'm doing a callback. What does this interpolate? Start, interpolate, start, end. Oh, no. Okay, what is target position? It's probably just the positions getting added twice. That's probably what's going on. No, that doesn't seem off. Huh. Those positions seem close to each other, so this feels like this is correct. This number is correct. So, okay, so it's going into here. Target position is correct. If I print position and then I print position, sorry. And then I print destination. They're probably just going to be like within 100 of each other. Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, okay. Wait, no, this is correct. This is incorrect. Oh, what is going on? Why is this number correct? This is correct? Because the beams are coming from the right spot. They're going to the wrong spot, but they're coming from the right spot. So like the 0.0 is correct. Sorry, I'm late. I had 7 hours of marching band practice for 2 weeks. Nice to be back at it immediately. Thanks. That's a lot of marching band practice. Ugh. it's not good weather here for that. It's very hot. The destination position needs to be relative so that we can draw to it correctly. We'll just subtract global position. Thus solving the problem once and for all. All right, then we scroll down. Yeah, there we go. That's right. All right, and our dude's mutually assured destruction. Okay, to do also, hold on. To do fix this to be better. There we go. I should have included that at the beginning. So, oh, we have 5 to-dos. Figure out shape cast optimization. Replace texture rect with a circle that better highlights the range. Add an attack effect animation. We did that, actually. So we have 4 to-dos. Move this to not be in the combat component because that's a dumb place for it. And then fix this to be better. A+. I don't remember if there was something else I had planned to do today, and I'm just going to stop here. So, yeah, this is technically a success. And, well, I don't know when I will next be streaming this. I'm going to try and make this as playable, not playable, as prototypable as possible. You know, right now it's just 4 units and that's it. And this map is not very big and there's a placeholder HUD. I would like to have something that's not like a game, but something that's a prototype, something that we can start experimenting with. That's when I'll next stream this. And in the meantime, I'll just be streaming gaming. Just find a few games and play them to blow off stress and also get inspiration, because that is the key to making a good game, is having inspiration. That's my theory anyway. So, yeah, I will leave it there. Let me see who is around. So there's a couple of vague other game streams. MMO game dev. That's fun. I did have a thought that like making an MMO is the hardest game you can possibly make for sure. But is making an RTS more successful on average than making an MMO? Do you have a better chance of making a successful game as an indie dev making an MMO than you do as a successful RTS? I wonder the stats on that. Dungeons of Triptera. I'm gonna go there. All right. Well, that is it for me. Thanks, folks, for stopping on by. I'll see you all next time. Hopefully, your game dev is going well. Hopefully, you're playing lots of fun games and having a good time. Until then.